Welcome back to another live trading session, traders. Hope that you had an enjoyable trading day. And we had our previous session. We had some move here. Now the market is trending, and I'm looking at more entry. We had just secured one trade during our session here. Now at the moment, I'm looking at for more entry opportunity here in this market. If you guys mix the previous session, then probably this session we can look for more. The market is trending. This is currently dropping, and I would like to take some more trade as the market is moving here in this area as we expected. So let's look at to see that where is our next entry opportunity. In the meantime, traders, if you are enjoying the live session, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Morning, well done. In the morning I missed the trade. That's fine. The missing trade is a part of trading, but traders, missing trade is a part of trading. However, if you really want to take your trading to the next level, don't worry about missing, but also worry about not learning. So here we are trading based on system, based on a strategy that we are trading every single day. So let's see that where the market is heading at the moment, and always look forward, don't look backward, okay? But always look forward, which is very important to see here in this market. So let's look at, first of all, we'll look at that the market here. This is currently falling market, and I'm looking at an entry as soon as it appears. But before that, we want to do a full multiple time frame analysis. Hey sir, I trade Nasdaq. Do you think now we are overbought and we can see a pullback this week? I'm trading on daily time frame as swing trade. Okay, very good. Thank you for confirmation. Anyone trading any instrument, including gold or anything that you want me to look at, especially for you, this live is for that reason, then you can let me know in the chat. Make sure what instrument you are trading and also what time frame you are looking at, right? Which is very important. Let's look at here, and I will be looking at gold, but let's look at Nasdaq a little bit quickly on the daily to see. In fact, looking at multiple currency pairs will always give you upper hand, because in that case, upper hand is very common word in terms of the current Iran war. But what you can see that here in trading also you can look at, right? Upper hand means that edge. So you have an edge in the market, right? Which is very important to look at. All right. Okay, already. Now Nasdaq daily time frame shows that there is a bullish price action, and this market may be going even further to the upside. The level that I have drawn is the previous support, previous resistance, turn support, which is a mirror level, and off this mirror level the market now slowly breaking back to the upside here in that area. So therefore, if you look at the Nasdaq, which is showing that the market here to trend here back above, potentially to create a new higher high. This is the monthly that you can see there is nothing here, so it's a void, okay, nothingness. So therefore, if you look at the daily, the market potentially to trend here back to the upside. The chances for this market to trend back to the upside is higher. So if you're trading on daily, that I would say that depending on your risk management setup, but if I swing trade here, my stop loss must be below 29.6884, below this level, okay? And if it is a swing trade, that I wouldn't take more than one-on-one risk here. If you look at this one-on-one, okay, don't think of too big here, because the market can come back anytime. So this is for me on Nasdaq is a 70% probability trade, which is a huge. So if you are trading like that one-on-one, okay, and take 70 trades, 100 trades, and I can give you a very good probability that 70 of them should be winner in that situation. So in that case, one-on-one, if you have even some commission to pay, still you will be profitable over the long term. And this is what you can see here in that area from the daily, because of the trend and also supply demand. So this is the previous resistance turn support here, which is a supply and demand zone here on NASDAQ that you can see here. WTI 1 minute, 5 minutes. So we can look at here NASDAQ. This is my idea. This is now you can look at the based on your strategy. WTI, before we go to the gold, let's look at also WTI. So WTI also will give us some directional bias on the lower time frame. So WTI 1 minute, 5 minutes, 1 hour. So multiple time frame, that's good. This is always look at the bigger picture. So looking at the 1 hour on WTI, WTI has there was a very unusual drop on WTI. Now this, that's why I tell you that market is, guys, unpredictable. So if you look at the market is unpredictable. The nature of market is unpredictable. Everything is unpredictable, isn't it? Tomorrow is unpredictable. Do you know? Can you predict tomorrow? Because there is no existence of tomorrow, in fact, right? Everything is in the now. Have you ever experienced tomorrow? It's in our imagination. Okay? It's our imagination. Only exists now. And that's what Seneca was said, that people suffer more in imagination than reality. Okay? Is because imagine anxiety. So this is what happened, right? Because in the present moment, actually nothing. Trust me on that. In the present moment, nothing. And let me tell you one very controversial but ultimate truth, and that will set you free. Everyone has to die one day, either being old or anyway. Imagine that everyone has to be older and die one day. If you can stay fully present, practice yourself, even when people are dying, it's not difficult or scary at all. I'm telling you the truth. It's not scary at all, because it's just the fear. When you stay present, you can let it go at any point in your life. So learn to be present, because it's only in the imagination. Okay? So be brave, be present, stay present. Now, going to the uncertainty here, okay? So if you look at, this is the 1 hour price action from here. From here. And what we can see here in this area, this is a complete break below here. Okay? Oil that we can see, it's creating the direction. Okay, thank you very much for that. Now, oil is in a downtrend that you can see. Okay? So with that downtrend, okay, if you look at that, this move that we can see from this gap open, oil has got a rejection of this level. Okay, so if you look at here, you can see that. Okay. Now, this is where the key is on here. Gap down, continues down. Yes, we can see that. So oil, from the 1 hour chart that we can see, it's in a downtrend. If you look at the 5 minutes, we can see that also in a downtrend that you can see here. Now, if you look at the 1 minute chart that you can see here, also it is in a downtrend. So oil, from the technical analysis, oil is highly news sensitive. Okay. From the technical analysis, oil shows that there might be here bearish move. That's a bear flag. Yes, that's a bear flag. Absolutely. Good catch. Well done. Yeah, so this is a bear flag. If you look at little higher time frame, you can spot that bear flag. This is the 5 minutes bear flag. And this 5 minutes bear flag is, for me, that 70% probability that it's gonna pull down here, okay, or more, because you see that how the market structure has created. It's a smooth drop. Now this kind of drop is sign of there is a selling pressure here. So that means oil is potentially coming down, okay. This zone here, up to here, I was skeptical about this drop, okay. Now I'm very much of bearish now on oil. So if you look at here, this is a very strong selling. Now you can see that every hour there was a significant selling pressure happen on oil that could lead that market here, that could bring that market back here. If you look at that, could come back. What I think that because there is a stronger selling pressure, it might break any of this recent swing low, okay. Okay, so therefore, if you look at that level here with this movement, that the market might be here creating that bearish pressure in this area. Okay, so you can see that the market is showing that bearish pressure and could come back below, and you can see it's a bear flag. The chances for this market to break below of this level is very high here in this area. So therefore WTI could be here that in a downtrend. So let's go back to gold here. Now oil, and now I'm not comparing with oil with the gold, because if you look at that on gold, this is the gold price, and also the DXY shows some upside bias so far here in that area. So either might be moving in a sideways or going back to the upside on DXY, but you can see that oil is in a bearish trend. And if you look at that on gold, which was significantly bearish here, and therefore that I'm looking at here for a potential sell entry. We had our previous entry on oil was pretty sharp drop, that if you look at here in this area, okay, so that move, that is where this is a significant drop that you can see on gold, and therefore at the moment on this lower time frame there is a trend line here that you can see, and with this trend line, which is the resistance here, that the market might be here breaking here and coming back below. That could be the situation. What is up, doc? Thank you very much. What do you trade, sir? Okay, I trade gold, XAUUSD, USD/JPY, WTI, Euro dollar, British pound, US dollar, AU USD. These are the main pairs I trade. What do you trade? You can share your instrument as well. What do you trade? It's gonna be helpful, guys, if you are looking at what do you trade. Let me share your also the instrument that you are trading. Let's drop the volume a little bit on the music, and USDJPY. Okay, thanks for that. Thank you very much. So gold will go further down. Hi coach, how are you doing? Gold will go further. Thank you very much. Yep, gold. So far we can see that it's trending. It's in a downtrend, and you could see the market here. Yes, I think technically I'm looking at bearish. What's your bias here? Also important to look at, and let's look at what is happening with the current fundamental. As we are looking at also the geopolitics, war and current fundamental situation here on gold is important. So you have seen just 52 minutes ago, there is an important news. I think that was also one of the reasons why the gold had a significant drop. Iran's IRGC Navy. Passage of hostile countries' vessels through the Strait of Hormuz is still prohibited. I think that's one of the biggest point that you guys can see currently going on with the closure of Strait of Hormuz, and it is closed. And I think this is one of the biggest reasons why there is still the war going on, and also there is still many of the things that not being resolved. So we see that this is further confirmation here that there might not be allowing that. I'm not sure which are the hostile countries, but did they mention here hostile countries? Okay, anyway, hostile countries. So that means the Strait of Hormuz is still not in operation. So you can see the Strait of Hormuz is still not open. And if you look at that, I think there was attack yesterday. IDF struck over 150 Hezbollah sites in southern Lebanon. Okay, so IDF struck over 150 Hezbollah sites in southern Lebanon. Okay, so this is another one. Okay, so this is, I think it's a part of this war going on. So ECB financial stability vulnerabilities remain elevated as geoeconomic shock unfolds. Okay. So some of the vital news that has been published here, that if you look at, so this one I think is one of the bigger contributor now at the moment for the current war going on in the Middle East. And if you look at that, I will show 150 Hezbollah side in southern Lebanon. Okay, so therefore we see that if you look at that on gold, all right, gold had a breakup structure that you can see, and oil is, yeah, oil had a big drop that you can see in that area. So this is a entire drop now on oil that you can see off this level, as we discussed from the bear flag. It had a break below. gold is going down as WTA is going down by very unusual. This happens sometime. Okay, was gold entry today will be breakout on key level. Okay, so let's focus on currently on gold that I'm looking at an entry. So you can see that this is a one single move now. Any breaking news here that you guys can see? The market is just pushing up here with this 5 minutes price action, and I will be looking at potential entry. If you see that 4-hour move, I'm preparing for an entry, guys, letting you guys that so that you are not being in rush with me for an entry here. This is the 1-hour move, and I'm preparing for possible entry. I'm looking at the Fibonacci here, starting of this to this end of the move, which is the 38.2%, and now nearly to 61.8% here. So let's look at this two key zone here on XAUUSD. Now with this movement, if you look at from here, that you can see it is a one single move of this level, and with this move here that you can see the market has dropped to this support that you can see, and I will be specifically looking at this 5 minutes price action that you can see the market has created this pretty strong bearish drop that you can see after this initial move. Now don't you think that this is a liquidity grab, or you think that it's gonna be again pushing back to the upside? What's your bias, guys? Let us know in the live chat. What is your bias here in this market? Okay, so here if you look at the market trying to break to the upside here, there is a liquidity sweep here in that area. Okay, so from this support that you can see that the market has created this initial move. Okay, there is a significant break back to the upside here in this area. Okay, now looking at this is the lower time frame market structure that you can see of this level. Very unusual move, but usually the unusual move is where there is an opportunity, right? Are you agreeing with me? Say yes if you think so. This is unusual move, but I think that might create a possible opportunity here for us. Let's see that how the market is creating. Yes. Okay. Now this is the daily resistance line also here, where the impulse that you can see of this. Thank you. And it's almost crossed this 15 minutes candle, almost crossed this high and low. Okay, it might go little higher, guys. It might go little higher. So that's I will be waiting a little bit patiently here. Okay. I'll just take 1 minute, less than a minute of break, and coming back to you guys, and we'll be there shortly. Go back on track here. All right. Yeah. Thanks, coach. In a single mob, got $9,300. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And I'm also looking for a move, and you can see there is a. If you look at that, a breakout structure. Now this is, if you closely look at, there is a failed attempt to create a higher high. So there is a chance for now for the market to move down. But there is this move that you can see. It's a one single breakout. Okay, and with this one single breakout that I'm looking at here in that area for this market to show its pattern down back below already. All right, thank you. Okay. Now there is some kind of movement that you can see here in this area, which could create the pressure back below here in this market for the price action to show its pattern. And therefore, if you look at that high from this resistance level and also from this support area here, okay. Now there is a, if you look at, there is a move back to the upside, and it could be that the price action eventually, what I think that here to possibly break below, that could create a potential selling pressure here in that market. So therefore, looking at with a this is a drop and pullback to the upside here, and therefore it can create selling pressure, or we might see that another wave of bounce before it potentially move for a sell here in that area. Let's see that overall movement where the market is trying to be heading. Still I'm not impressed with a potential sell here. Okay, if you look at that, I'm looking at for an entry after this initial pullback, and we'll see that where the market is showing up its directional bias here in that area. Okay. Don't you think the market is potentially to break the low here for another lower low? In that case, we can look for sell because there is a false breakout. How many of you doing that agree with that? And if that's the case, we can look at to have another 170 pip. Don't you think so? Because it's in a downtrend. Now, however, if the market reject back again, I think the best entry will be once the price action here can retest this level. Yeah, we can see there is a rejection here back above to this key zone here. And that is where we will be able to see potential entry in this area. So let's first wait for this market to have another wave up, because there is a very stronger rejection and it's still possible for this market to go for another bounce here, right? If you look at that 1 hour here, you can see the market showing this kind of price action, and that could be going here back in that zone here for another retest, or entirely dropping back down. No, it's definitely pulling back up, and I would wait for a true confirmation to sell. Now, I completely agree with you. And that's the best approach. Okay, always be skeptical about your bias. Okay, you know, this is a good important point. This market can still go up because there is a stronger move. Can still go up, and I'm not strictly selling, neither strictly buying, because there is a stronger bullish move followed by this pullback, and you can see the market here can go up. And this is what I learned from trading, guys. This is a life lesson. Okay, keep in mind that don't stick to anything forever. Everything is changing. Be skeptical about everything, but doesn't be too skeptical that you can't settle on anything. Okay, trust and skepticism, when you can combine both of them together, that's where you can create the best strategy in every aspect. There remain, if you look at the skepticism, being skeptical about your entry is also a practice of the brain. And also, if you look at that trust, okay, there resides on both sides of the spectrum. But unfortunately, our brain has lost that ability to practice both of them. Okay, this is how everything happened in the current social context. Our brain has lost the ability to practice both of them, and we became most like a conformist, or what I am told I have to do that, this is what it is. Don't ask any question. If you ask question, you will be in trouble. So that's not the right practice for the brain. As a human being, it is important that you practice both of them. Okay, that means you are a buyer. Okay, but think of also the market could be sell off, and at the same time trust. Okay, trust your strategy, that you might be losing a trade, but you are okay, you can get it the next trade. Okay, there resides on the both spectrum, but both are needed, okay, for finding better trading setup. So this is what we are looking at here in this trading. And it's important that as a trader, you have that trading psychology to be developed. Okay, and all right, so we can see the 5 minutes. There is a candlestick pattern which seems like there might be some upside bias, and from the 1 hour also you can see the market is creating a potentially an upside bias. So let's see that here from the daily, what actually we are going to look at. The major trend here is bearish. The only concern for me to sell this market is trading against the trend, because we can expect an entirely a long reversal here, but always remaining with the trend is the best way. Okay, so let's see that how the market do. However, if we see that stronger rejection here, we can look for short-term buy, but I'm not entering it. I would like to see further confirmation, and then we can look at that. No way. Okay, thank you very much. Set some music on. Okay, this the current 5 minutes candle that you can see, it's showing some kind of the move that not very strongly bearish. Okay, so here in this area, let's see that what kind of movement we could see here in this area. 15 minutes, look at the 15 minutes closing. All right, so okay. So I'm going here a long position from this level. We'll keep the stop loss below this support level and we target to this previous swing high here. Not a very big move, but we want to take the short-term potential move here back in that area here in this market. So putting stop loss at 4426.84 and setting a TP target at 4469.36. I'm looking at here for a potential move back to the upside. So we look at that there is there are some kind of liquidity sweep here, and this is, as I mentioned, against the trend trade. The reason I have opened this position is because there is a very stronger breakout, and with this breakout the market is most likely to have another wave of a rise to the upside, and we are not targeting a bigger move here because this is the probabilistic trade, as the market has created this initial a breakout from this support that you can see. Because it has created this initial breakout, we can see that pullback, and chances for the market to have another wave of breakout is higher here in this market for another context to the upside here. So therefore, looking at for the market to show its one more bias back to the upside. However, it is still possible for the market to drop again because it's in a downtrend. So I manage the risk accordingly. We'll see that I've traded the probability, but let's see that where the market is heading. We have traded here. I've taken this trade based on the recent time frame, because there is a liquidity here in this zone here that you can see in the market. Let's see where it is heading. Based on that, we can look at that entry opportunity in this market. Let me know how many of you here with this trade here with me. And make sure you also use the risk management tool. Risk management is very important. And with this movement, if the market shows its pattern here, we are looking at another entry here back above to create a new here. Thank you very much. Okay, so here, if you look at that, there is a liquidity sweep here in this area. Now there is, if you look at the 1 hour, you can see stop to that has moved back to the upside here, and from this 1 hour rejection, looking to see how the market creates its liquidity sweep of this level for if it is going for another wave of round of back to the upside in this market. So far we can see some downside move, but I'm looking to see that if this market is showing its another move up, or it's doomed to drop again. Okay, that can happen. It's kind of unusual, but okay. I have traded this one little, little out of my instinct, because usually I look at sell this kind of setup. Now this one I have opened fully out of my instinct, is because of this impulse that you have seen. Usually when I see that major trend is down, I more often open this kind of trade as a sell. But today I have opened with full risk management, because this is a risky setup, because usually more often the market creates another whip in this kind of move, but to give reflex instinct. Yeah, so I have gone little against my instinct. Let's see that where it is heading back. But if successfully move here, if go back to 4465, I'll be happy to take this one out. Depending on the price, it's gonna be almost 171 pip if the market goes to retest this high, because there was a very stronger breakout, right? After this breakout, it is very usual to see that the market to go for another wave of breakout, okay, which is very usual to look at here in this kind of market. Now there's a fair value gap here. There's a fair value gap. I think some more back here, back to the upside. And I will not be taking this trade too long. One good impulse will be out with this trade with the running profit. Okay. One good impulse can take this market 120 pip. I will not be unhappy to take that if the market successfully goes to that. 4460 will be nearly to more than 100 pip, right? Okay, looking forward to see one more move here. Yeah, so broke the trend line. This is what we're looking at. Okay, waiting to see a potential breakout, which is very important to look at. Okay, that's what we're looking to see. Want to see where the market is heading. That is awesome. Thanks for the feedback. See some good feedback on the chat group. Welcome, welcome, well done, guys, and that's a great job. We are having an incredible trading group. For those who haven't joined yet, you can do so. There is a link below this video shared in the below this description where you can learn, you can grow as a trader, which is very important to what I think that if you're really passionate about trading, where we have a great trading community, we're learning trading. So is your trade active? Yes, my trade active, and I'm running. Okay, and my trade is little drawdown, few pip, but it's still on. Looking forward to see the potential another move here if it successfully goes up. And we have opened that buy. Let's see that if the market is having the reaction back above. So we're looking to see one more bounce if it does. Okay. My trade is active. Let's see that where it is heading. And if you look at the 1 hour, we are almost nearly to the 1 hour candle close, right? And that 1 hour candle close, it has an initial breakout. So the low of this 1 hour price action that if you look at, it's a very smaller candle that you can see of this level, okay? And with this 1 hour support, the market has created its move back to the upside here. All right, so therefore, if you see that the market structure shows a clear pattern, we are looking at here in that zone for an entry. So far, little lower volume in this zone. Okay, and might be little surprising if entirely the market breaks below. If you look at the 1 hour closing, and see where it is heading here, back in that area and off this level. It was one entirely single move back to the upside, which has So here is what you can see in this area, that the market has created another red candlestick pattern from the 1 hour candle close. Pretty large long wick candle. Ready? Okay, it's almost to that support area. And 4 hour, we have traded against the trend. Probably we have to give it away. Okay, it's almost to the support, and this is against the trend trade. Probably might just break entirely below. See that where it is heading, going back to the break even or going back to the profit target. This liquidity sweep, probably we will be good lucky here to have another bounce of this order block. This is a support area, which is an order block. If you look at, okay, we can see that of this support is an order block that you can see here in this area. Okay, looking at the 1 hour here. It's crucial, guys, to see that potential another move up of this level to give another impulse here in this area. Okay. So we are on this support area here, and okay, we are stopped out, and we've gone against the major trend. Yeah. Now this is a very unusual move that you can see here. Got that. I'm down 200 pip. Today we're losing, but we'll see that where it is heading. If you look at that, after a long time I have traded against the trend, and that has gone on the direction, has to trade here. Now if you look at that, see, the market is in a very sharp downtrend, and it was against the trend trade that has gone to that. I was waiting for another breakout here. Anyway, we'll let it go. We'll look for another one, and probably even we can look at little increased risk with the same kind of setup, just with the trend. Okay, here that this is a support area that you can see off this level, and we'll see that where it is heading. Now if you look at from this here, that you can see it might be showing possible the market has entirely broken that low here. It's a very unusual move. This is a 4-hour price action. Let's keep pushing down, and we might see that drop continuation further lower here. Now with this 5 minutes close, are you guys ready for another entry? I need to get it. Come on. If you look at that level, that you can see this is a previous support and resistance. Not fight the trend buy zone. No, this is a falling market. It was a false breakout that you can see. The market has entirely broken back below with this false breakout. Now the market here is more likely to continue to drop back, right guys? So here is that the current price action that you can see in this area, showing that there is a possibility for further drop, and I will be looking at further entry soon because the market is coming down, and you can look at here another entry in that zone with this movement that you can see. And look at this 15 minutes price action, and okay, so I will be going for a short position here with little bigger profit target so that you can have the previous one as well. This is the second trade that I'm opening in the same way, and the stop loss that I'm placing here at so this one 4419 nearly to 20, and stop loss that I'm placing here at nearly to 4439.64, and TP target will be setting at 4385.20. So I'm looking at here another trade that I'm opening. Now this one I have increased the risk 0.5% more. Okay, so I would like to take 1.5% with this trade because that will increase my number of pips, 39.64, and TP target here at 4385.20, and increase my risk to 1.5%. So here I've increased my risk to 1.5%, and I'm looking forward to see this market potentially to break below. Now if that move happens successfully coming down, that might be bringing that price here back below for another wave of drop, and this is what I'm looking at here, guys. This is the second trade of today, and I'm looking for here another move, and which is very important to look at to see a potential breakup structure that you will be looking to see here in this market. So, alright guys, so there is a very narrow zone here that falling market. I want to see one more potential rejection. Looking forward to see nearly to 300 pip at least, and with 1.5 times it's going to be 450 pip if successful move happens. However, I'm fully prepared for the risk managed setup that someday the market might not listen to you, and that's fine. It happens sometime. If it happens, then we have to let it happen. That's what it is, guys. See where it is happening. And to 100% touch 4395 within 4 hours. Need to recover. Trend is still bearish. Yeah, we have traded. The first trade was actually a false breakout. It happens. What you can do, the market will do the false breakout, guys. This is the nature of the market. That's why when you are trading, you can't avoid false breakout. The only thing that you can do is to keep managed your risk, so you're not that what I call that, not going out with one trade. Okay, it's coming that back low. Thank you very much. Okay, this is another very important, guys. Keep in mind. And trading psychology is very important. Okay, holding the trade is important. Now, what is the most important part of trading psychology? Trading can teach you a lot, not by trading, but not also even watching trading is very important. Okay, trading can teach you a lot. One of the biggest lesson, I would say that not one of the biggest lesson, okay, guys, this is very important. The biggest lesson that I have learned from trading, you know what? Humility. This is very, very lacking quality in today's world. Humility. And it's lacking. There is a also reason behind it. Good trade. Thank you very much. Let's look at here. Even if it's not a trading, will teach you humility, and it's a lacking quality. You know why? Because even some people try to exhibit humility, they can't. You see that many people can't exhibit. If you're in a position where you constantly need to defend yourself, you can't exhibit humility, right? Because if you acknowledge something and if you are being like, okay, what do you acknowledge? That means it's very difficult to exhibit humility. And that's why people remain in a defensive, most people, so they don't have to face any criticism or attack. And the humility is disappeared. When the humility disappeared, it is impossible for a man or woman to perform even to its 5% of his total potential. Without humility, is impossible. If you are trading, no matter how good trader you are, you have to accept the fact that sometime, at least for some time, you're gonna be wrong. Sometime, okay? At least once in a 6 months, it can happen. At least, okay? In a very best scenario case. And I have a strategy that you guys see that we are trading with our automated system. Even a winning trade, sometime I just close in loss sometime. It happens. So it's what a trader is learning, right? Which is very important to have that. Which is you will be learning in trading. Very important to look at. Now, what is the advantage? Advantage is huge, okay? Now here, there is another bearish engulfer, which is showing that the market might be trying to break that low, okay? And okay, here you want to see that another wave. If we successful another wave drop, this can bring that a lot downside. It's a little higher volatile. We got 121 pip, but and again moved up for this pullback. So this is currently in a significant downtrend, and with this 30-minute candle close, if we see at least one more red candle below, that might be a successful move that we can see here in that market. Thank you very much. Let's see that where it is heading. I'm looking for another move. We have taken the second trade. If successfully close, this one can be big one. Thank you very much. We'll see that where it is heading. Either good trade or bad trade. It's a trade and we want to take with the full risk money setup. Let's look at to see where it is heading. Make sure guys you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. And also head down to the below the first link in the description to join premium, where I am sharing every trade that I am opening, including the live update, trade analysis, as well as the strategies that I'm trading every day. See, yeah, the profit is running, so I'm happy to see as long as it's moving. I had the previous trade, I had 1300 loss, so this one increased a little bit. If we see that successful move, and when I got that recovered here, it's in a downtrend. Let's see that what the market is doing. Another 30-minute candle closed, and It's another breakup structure, and the market might here move for another deeper pullback. This is a falling market. Again, we might see that deeper pullback. We'll see that where it is heading. The moment the market has gone back again. So a little bit of unusual move that you can see in the recent time due to some of the global war. And here is one update. I think this might be also influencing the market here. Let's see that. And State TV, we have a draft of the initial unofficial framework for the MOU with the US. So with the current the situation with the negotiation and all of that, I think that how does that impacted the oil price that you can see after this massive drop from this bear flag, the market has dropped and again it's on a pullback. So gold should be in that direction. If that is the case, we'll see that where it is heading at the moment. The lower time frame, we have seen there is a break here of this support, which is very interesting, right? Expanding structure, a narrow green candle, big red candle, another big red candle, larger red candle with now bigger green candle. Now this structure, if it breaks below, that I will be looking at to see that this market to continue to drop here back below. Okay, we are looking at here to profit at 4402. I've seen significant move. Now it's moving again back above, almost 166 pip. Usually in one single move, going 300, 400 sometimes takes a little time, but I'm holding on to that. You know, no pain, no gain, right? Okay guys, so with this 5 minutes green candle that you can see, it was a very unusual move. But in case now, if this is entirely breaking below, that's a high probability move that you can get a full TP hit here. So patiently waiting to see how the market react in this area here now. Can go back for another retest. We can continue to drop. It's the power of trading we are looking at. Thank you. Okay, it entirely broken back below, and I'm hopeful that it's gonna entirely broken back below, because this back to back two, if you look at that, multiple liquidity sweep here can create that bearish pressure now here in this market. And I'm excited to see that potential move down here back in this area for another wave of drop. We'll see that how far it goes. It shows that potential for this move. The rest will depend on, of course, on the market here. The price action to me is still looks bearish. See there one more rejection here. Okay, so here the market again is moving a little in a sideway. All right, so you can see 5 minutes here, another candlestick pattern formation, and if you look at that 15 minutes, this zone is crucial now at the moment, and I'm holding on to that. Patience is needed, guys, to maintain consistency in trading, which is very important to look at when you are trading. Patience is very important to look at here. And if successfully breaks that low, then you will be able to see this market continue to profit 4402. I would make profit, let it pull back some to catch it flushing. Okay, so at this point at our entry, but I'm like pretty optimistic that this market is going to have a rejection here back below. Okay, which is very important to look at. WTI, yes, WTI is in a downtrend, but now if you look at off this bear flag, we saw that there was a break of structure from that bear flag. That if you look at now with this move, the market now it's on a pullback, and I think it might try to push again back above pullback for another wave of drop here in this market. But we are mostly concerned in gold to see that in fact this market is coming back here for another wave of drop. Okay, this is the market has created another pin bar here. Let's say that if it is what the market is again coming down here, or it gonna move again back in that area. Okay, if it successfully breaks that, there's a multiple liquidity sweep. If this one is a false breakout, then I'm looking at to see the market almost to drop down to that support area. Slow, yeah. So with this long week candlestick pattern here, we're looking to see the market structure to give its we see multiple rejection of this level that can create a potentially if the price action reject of this level, we can expect it to continue to drop here back below that you could see here. So the market has reached this high liquidity. So now off this level, that looking to see the market to see that if successfully getting the rejection back below to the support area to create a new lower low here in this market, and we will see that where it is heading. And we can see so far there is a significant amount of liquidity sweep, and now it's almost nearing to the 1 hour candle close. And if successfully breaks that low, we can expect the market to move again back down in the support area here in this market. You can see there's a massive drop here that you can see in this zone, and with this drop, they're expecting the market to respect that low and potentially to create a new lower low here in this market. Okay, so if you look at that here with this 5 minutes candle, the market there is a long rejection, and we can see some kind of um, rejection coming in. But I think that if this candlestick pair are not being able to break that high, there is a potential for entire continuation back below. So here's the market is in that zone where if you look at that move, it is in this high liquidity zone, and here there was again another break below. So the market today's price, we can see there is a very unusual move, guys. This is what we are looking here at the moment, and that's, if you look at that overall, we have to see the market, especially when there is a significant change in the geopolitical sentiment that you can see. I think there might be a significant change coming up, and that's what the market is, if you look at that, reflecting. So I'll have some more trade later, but at this point, if you look at, it was a significant drop, and again the market has reacted to this level. Okay, so here's we are looking at for the price action to show its bias at this level, to see that actually how the market might be doing, and I'll let it play out to see that overall. But the price action looks like that there is a big shift coming in the geopolitical sentiment. If you look at that overall market sentiment, oil has started to break below, which is that if you look at that overall trend on oil is bearish, and the market might be here. On gold, we saw that there was a significant breakdown and a rejection again back above of this level. So we'll see how far the market might be creating its structure. I'll look for further entry later today. Here at the moment, I'm looking at in this zone to see that overall where the market might be heading. Okay, thank you very much. Still NY open. Yeah, this is a NY open manipulation hour, and that's how the market, especially when there is a big shift in the market sentiment, you guys should see that happens, and which is a part of the market cycle. Okay, and here if you look at that, we have open buy at this level. it was, I think that's where the market has dropped again and then revert back again in the major flow of this market. So at the moment, as the price action, if you look at the 4 hour, has just kind of closed, open another one, it might now try to go back again for another retest of this support and resistance, and then we might see that the market again having the rejection back below in that area. Okay, so here the only thing that you can say at the moment is observing the market for further movement, and I'll post an analysis, guys, later today for further update of the market. And I hope that you enjoyed the session. I'm coming on live twice every single day. We had 2 consecutive massive winning days. Today is a losing day. That's part of trading. We still have 2 days and still have the next session to go on. And I will be coming on live tomorrow as well to trade the market and stay connected there. Still, we have a lot to trade and keep the risk managed. I'll see you there again in the next live session later tomorrow in London session as well as NY session. That being said, thanks for joining here. And I'll see you again very soon trading live. Until that, stay well, stay happy.